My beloved child, stop for a moment and breathe. Do not scroll past this message, for it was not by chance that your eyes met these words at this exact second. This is a divine intersection, a holy appointment designed before the foundations of the world were laid. Hear me clearly, this is your final chapter, but it is the final chapter of your suffering, not the final chapter of your life. I am closing the last page of the cycle that kept reopening the same wound, and I am sealing the door behind you so it cannot pull you back again. I am speaking directly to your soul, thrumming in the quiet frequency of your heart, because I have seen your silent struggle. I have seen the way you have been holding your breath, waiting for the other shoe to drop even in moments of peace. You feel a sudden sharp ache in your chest, not a physical ailment, but a spiritual resonance. It is the weight of memories you thought you had buried, rising to the surface like tide water. You are trembling not because you are weak, but because my presence is beginning to stir the waters of your spirit. This message is the lifeline you whispered for in the dark of night, and I am here to tell you that I have heard every unspoken word. Before I reveal the depths of the blessing I am preparing to pour into your life, I need you to confirm your readiness to receive this spiritual surgery. Do not let this moment of grace slip through your fingers. Before we proceed into the sanctuary of healing I have built for you today, show your commitment to this journey. Press the like button as a physical act of opening your heart's door, and subscribe to this channel to tether your spirit to this daily flow of my living water. And in the comments type "final chapter" as your declaration that you are done living the same pain on repeat. By joining this family of believers, you are signaling to the heavens that you are no longer walking this path alone, but are walking in the light of my constant guidance. This is your first step toward the restoration you have been crying out for. Do it now, for the gates of heaven are leaning in to hear your response. I know the confusion that has been clouding your mind lately. I know the why that keeps echoing in the corridors of your thoughts. You are finally feeling stable, finally feeling as though the storms had passed, and yet out of nowhere the old pain returned. You felt that familiar pang of rejection, that sudden wave of anxiety, or that heavy shadow of loneliness that you thought you had conquered months ago. You ask me, why now, Father? Why, when I was finally doing well, must I face this ghost again? You feel as though you are sliding backward, losing the ground you fought so hard to gain. But I am here to tell you that you are not falling back. You are going deep. I am taking you back to the root of the wound, because I am no longer satisfied with just covering it up. I am here to pull it out by the fibers so that it can never poison your future again. I know the exhaustion that comes from fighting battles that no one else can see. I know the way your shoulders feel heavy with the weight of expectations and the sharp stings of being misunderstood by those you love. I know the tears that fall when you are driving alone, or the way you stare at the ceiling at 3 a.m., wondering if you are being punished for mistakes you thought were forgiven. My precious chosen one, hear me clearly. This is not a punishment. This is not the end of your story. This is the end of the old story. This is the final chapter of survival and the beginning of restoration. This is the preparation for a weight of glory you're not yet strong enough to carry. I am stretching your capacity. I am refining your gold. Every I know I whisper to you is a promise that I am present in the fire, holding the thermostat, ensuring that you are not consumed, but only purified. Now, before the revelation of the holy repair begins to manifest in your reality, I want you to declare your presence in my sanctuary. Do not stay silent while the Creator of the universe is speaking your name. Type, "I am here, Lord," or 7007 in the comments right now to acknowledge that you are listening. By typing these words, you are activating a spiritual signal, moving from a passive observer to an active participant in your own miracle. Type it with the authority of a child of the Most High. This is your moment to claim the ground I am about to restore to you. I see your name, I see your heart, and I am moving even now to align the stars in your favor. My child, let us look deeper into the shadows you have been carrying. I have watched you in those moments of heated exchange, those times when your heart hammered against your ribs like a trapped bird. I saw you trying to find the perfect combination of words to unlock the understanding of someone who had already closed their heart to you. You felt that burning sensation in your chest, the desperate need to be seen, to be heard, and to be validated. You thought that if you could just explain it one more time, if you could just show them the why behind your actions, the tension would dissolve and peace would return. But instead, you found yourself drained, your energy siphoned away by a vacuum of indifference or hostility. I was there standing beside you, feeling every tremor in your hands as you gripped your phone or held the edge of the table, trying to stay composed while your spirit was screaming in frustration. You are exhausted from being your own lawyer, and I have come to tell you that it is time to resign from the court of human opinion. This is the ego trap, a subtle snare that the darkness sets for my most bright and sensitive souls. The enemy knows that your greatest strength is your integrity, so he attacks you where you are most vulnerable, your desire to be known for who you truly are. He whispers that if you don't defend yourself, the lie will become the truth. He tells you that your silence is a sign of defeat or an admission of guilt. But I want you to understand the profound difference between the ego and the truth. The ego is fragile. It requires constant feeding, constant defense, and constant validation from the outside world. It is a house built on shifting sands, always trembling when the winds of criticism blow. But the truth is a mountain. It does not need to shout to exist. It does not need to argue to be real. When you are standing in my truth, you don't need to win the argument because you have already won the battle. Every time you enter the arena to fight for your reputation, you are stepping out of my shadow and into the scorching heat of your own strength. I have seen the physical toll this has taken on you. I have watched your sleep become fragmented because you are replaying those conversations in your mind, thinking of all the things you should have said. I have seen the way your appetite vanishes or the way you reach for distractions just to numb the sharp edges of being misunderstood. This cycle of self-defense is a thief that steals your peace and clouds your vision of the destiny I have prepared for you. You were not created to be a person who manages everyone else's perception of you. You were created to be a vessel of my light. When you try to control the narrative of your life in the eyes of others, you are essentially saying that my justice is not enough. You are trying to do the work that only I can do. Remember, I am the vindicator. I am the one who brings the hidden things into the light. When you release the need to be right in the eyes of man, you open the door for me to make you righteous in the eyes of heaven. Your silence is not a sign of weakness. It is the ultimate demonstration of trust. It is the sound of a soul that has found its anchor in the eternal. When you stop talking, I start moving. When you stop defending, I start protecting. I want you to feel the release of this burden right now. Visualize yourself handing me the folder of all your grievances, all the times you were unfairly judged, and all the explanations you never got to finish. I am taking them from you. I am fighting for you in rooms you haven't even entered yet. I am speaking to the hearts of your detractors in ways your words never could. Rest in this knowledge. Let your heart rate slow down. Let the tension leave your neck and shoulders. You are protected. You are seen. You are loved beyond measure. The battle is not yours, my beloved. It is mine, and I have never lost a single one. My precious child, I want to redefine victory for you today. For the world has taught you that winning means having the last word, standing over your opponent, or proving your point until they bow in agreement. But in my kingdom, the greatest victories are often won in the sanctuary of silence. There is a specific kind of strength that is only found when you choose to walk away from a battle that was designed to do nothing but drain your oil and dim your lamp. When you hold your tongue while every fiber of your being wants to lash out, you are not being passive. You are being powerful. You are demonstrating that your identity is so secure in me that it cannot be threatened by the opinions of man. I am calling you to a higher level of spiritual maturity, where you no longer feel the need to attend every argument you are invited to. Imagine the peace that awaits you when you realize that some people are committed to misunderstanding you, and your silence is the only appropriate response to their noise. Think back to my servant Moses as he stood with the people of Israel at the edge of the Red Sea. Behind them was the most powerful army on earth, and before them was an impassable wall of water. The people were terrified, their voices rising in a chaotic chorus of complaint and fear. But listen to the words I placed in his mouth. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. I did not ask them to sharpen their swords or build a bridge. I asked them to be still. This stillness was their ultimate weapon. It was an act of total surrender that triggered a cosmic intervention. When you become still, you create a vacuum that my power rushes in to fill. By refusing to fight on the level of the flesh, you are inviting the hosts of heaven to fight on your behalf. My word in Exodus 14:14 is not a suggestion, it is a spiritual law. When you stop the internal and external noise, I can part the seas of your life, making a way where there seems to be no way. I want you to experience this stillness right now, not just as a concept, but as a physical and spiritual reality. Wherever you are, I want you to take a deep, slow breath. Feel the air filling your lungs, a gift of life from my very spirit. As you exhale, release the tension you have been carrying in your jaw and let your shoulders drop. You have been walking like a soldier in a trench for too long, always braced for the next explosion. I'm giving you permission to stand down. Feel the weight of the world sliding off your back as you realize that you do not have to carry it. This moment of quiet is where your healing begins. In this silence, you are not losing ground. You are gaining perspective. You are allowing my peace, which transcends all human understanding, to guard your heart and your mind. This is the victory that overcomes the world, a faith that is so anchored in my love that it can remain calm in the center of the storm. But you must understand, my beloved, that this silence is not just an end in itself. It is a gateway. Many of my children find the silence difficult because they do not understand what is happening behind the veil while they wait. You might feel as though nothing is changing, as though the situation is stagnant. But I tell you that the most intense work is often done in the quietest hours. Your silence is the fertile soil where the seeds of your destiny are taking root. However, I know that for you, the waiting is the hardest part. You feel the itch to do something, to fix something, to make something happen. You are standing in the middle of a gray zone where the old has passed away, but the new hasn't yet appeared. You need to know what I am doing in that uncomfortable gap. For the silence is not empty, it is full of my activity. My child, I see you standing in the gray zone, that vast, quiet expanse between the life you have left behind and the one I have promised to build for you. It is a place that feels empty, cold, and desperately lonely. You have let go of the toxic relationships. You have walked away from the habits that were suffocating your soul, and you have silenced the arguments that used to consume your days. But now, instead of the immediate celebration you expected, there is only a deafening silence. You feel like a traveler in the middle of a desert at night, where the landmarks of your old life have vanished, and the lights of your new destination are not yet visible on the horizon. This is the space where many of my children falter, for the human mind is wired to crave certainty. When there is no movement, your brain begins to scream that you are lost, that you have been forgotten, or worse, that you made a mistake by leaving the familiar pain behind. I know the temptation to turn back is strong. I see you looking over your shoulder at the people and places that used to fill your time, even if they never truly filled your heart. There is a strange, deceptive comfort in familiar misery that the ego prefers over the terrifying unknown of divine growth. You feel a hollow ache in your chest, a spiritual hunger that makes you want to reach for anything just to stop the feeling of being adrift. You might find yourself wanting to apologize for things you didn't do, or reconnecting with people who don't deserve your light just to hear a human voice again. But I am here to hold your hand in this vacuum. I am here to tell you that this discomfort is not a sign of failure. It is the sensation of your soul expanding. You are not empty. You are being emptied of the old wine so that I can pour in the new. Do not mistake the quietness of the waiting room for the stillness of a tomb. This is not a prison, my beloved. It is a construction site. The reason this season feels so heavy is that I am doing a work in you that requires your total focus, and the noise of your previous life was too loud for you to hear my instructions. Your brain hates this waiting because it cannot see the progress, but I work from the inside out. While you are sitting in the dark, wondering when the dawn will come, I am strengthening the foundations of your character. I am reinforcing your spiritual walls. I am healing the fractures in your heart that would have caused you to collapse under the weight of the blessing I am about to release. If I gave you the miracle today, you would not have the strength to hold it. This waiting is your training. It is the weights you must lift in the secret place, so that when you step into the light of your destiny, you will stand tall and unshakable. My silence is not abandonment. It is a test of what you have learned in the fire. It is a divine shielding protecting you from distractions, while I weave the complex tapestry of your future. I want you to trust my timing more than you trust your own anxiety. I know you feel like you are falling behind, watching others move forward while you remain stationary. But you must understand that I am not working on a human clock. I have an appointed time for every promise, and I am never a second late. If it hasn't happened yet, it's because the conditions are not yet perfect, either in the world around you or within the depths of your own spirit. Yield to this process. Stop trying to kick down doors that I have closed for your protection. The gray zone is where the miracle is incubated. Stay in the shadow of my wings and let the work finish its course. You are not being punished. You are being prepared for a level of glory that requires a heart that has been refined in the silence. Hold on, for the transition is almost complete, and the revelation of why this wait was necessary is about to be made clear to your eyes. You are asking me why this storm has returned when you thought you had already found the shore. You are questioning the timing of this sudden upheaval, wondering why the ghosts of your past are haunting the halls of your present, just as you were beginning to dream again. My beloved, it is because there is a leakage in your soul that you have been unaware of. You have been walking through life with a heart that was partially mended, but beneath the surface, the old poison was still circulating. It shows up in the way you hesitate to trust those who truly love you. It manifests in the way you subconsciously wait for betrayal, or the way you feel a strange guilt when things are going too well. This leakage is the residue of every trauma you survived, but never truly processed. You wrapped a bandage over a deep infection and hoped that time alone would kill the bacteria. But time does not heal. I heal. And I am bringing this to the surface now because your current vessel cannot hold the weight of the wine I am about to pour. Think of your life as a grand house that you have spent years decorating. To the world, the windows are sparkling, and the paint is fresh, and the garden is in bloom. You have worked hard to present a version of yourself that is strong, capable, and over it. But I am the architect, and I do not just look at the curtains. I look at the foundation. I see the termites of bitterness that have been eating away at the beams of your self-worth. I see the cracks in the basement caused by the weight of things you were never meant to carry. If I were to build the next level of your destiny on this compromised structure, the entire house would collapse under the first sign of pressure. This is why I am ripping up the floorboards. This is why I am exposing the damp, dark corners you wanted to keep hidden. It feels like destruction, but it is actually a divine intervention. I am saving you from a future collapse by forcing you to deal with the rot in your roots today. You look around and see others who seem to move on so easily, people who never seem to face the intense spiritual scrutiny that you are enduring. You ask me, Father, why do they get to keep their peace while I am being torn apart? My child, it is because you are a chosen one. You have a calling that requires a level of purity and strength that common vessels do not need. I have a higher standard for you because I have a higher assignment for you. I cannot allow you to lead others with a limp you refuse to acknowledge. I cannot allow you to build a legacy on a foundation of fine. I do not accept good enough for you because I have destined you for extraordinary. This is why the process feels so invasive. This is why I am not letting you settle for a superficial peace. I am looking for the truth in your inward parts, and I will not stop until every lie you have believed about yourself is burned away. This diagnosis is not meant to shame you, but to liberate you. I am pointing out the leakage so that we can plug it once and for all. I am showing you that your reaction to that recent argument wasn't about the person in front of you. It was about the person from 10 years ago who you never truly forgave. I am showing you that your fear of lack isn't about your bank account. It's about the childhood vow you made when you felt unprotected. This is the moment of truth. We are identifying the exact spots where the enemy has been able to gain a foothold in your spirit. By bringing these things into the light of my presence, they lose their power over you. The diagnosis is the first half of the miracle. You cannot be cured of what you refuse to name. You feel the pressure increasing, and you feel the weight of my hand upon you, but do not pull away. This is the hand of a surgeon, not an executioner. I am pinpointing the exact location of the spiritual blockage that has been stopping the flow of my favor in your life. You have been wondering why certain doors wouldn't open, why certain breakthroughs seemed to stall just before the finish line. It was the leakage, my child. It was the internal static that was interfering with the divine frequency I was trying to send you. Now that the cause has been identified, we can begin the actual repair. You are about to move from the diagnostic room to the operating table of the Holy Spirit. It will require total surrender, but the version of you that emerges will be fireproof and unshakable. My precious one, welcome to the operating table of the Holy Spirit. You have reached the most critical moment of our journey together. I want you to visualize this space not as a cold clinical room, but as a sanctuary of golden light, a place where time stands still. And the only thing that exists is my love for you. You have spent so long trying to keep yourself together, clutching the jagged pieces of your soul with bleeding hands, terrified that if you let go, you will scatter into nothingness. But I am asking you now to release your grip. Lay down the burden of trying to fix yourself. You cannot heal what you are still trying to control. As you lie here in the stillness of my presence, I want you to feel the warmth of my hands. They are the hands that knit you together in your mother's womb, the hands that numbered the hairs on your head, and the hands that are now moving with surgical precision to perform the holy repair. You feel as though you are being destroyed, but I tell you, there is a holy distinction between being broken for destruction and being broken for breakthrough. The world breaks things to discard them, but I break things to multiply them. Just as a seed must be broken for the tree to emerge, and just as bread must be broken to feed the multitude, your brokenness is the very thing that allows my light to finally penetrate the shadows of your heart. In this sacred state of surrender, you are no longer a fortress trying to withstand a siege. You are a vessel being opened to receive a miracle. Those cracks you are so ashamed of, those deep fissures caused by betrayal, loss, and disappointment, I see them as the entry points for my glory. I am not looking for a perfect, unblemished heart that has never known pain. I am looking for the one who is brave enough to say, "Lord, I am in pieces. Come and make me whole." Now my hands are moving into the deepest recesses of your spirit to perform a divine sanitization. There are toxins of bitterness that have been stored in the corners of your mind for decades. There is the stagnant water of old resentments and the sharp, rusted shrapnel of words spoken against you when you were a child. These are the things that have been poisoning your joy and slowing your progress. It may feel like a burning sensation as I apply the fire of my spirit to these hidden wounds. It may hurt to finally let go of the anger you used to use as a shield. But trust me, the great physician, I must remove every trace of the infection so that the healing can be permanent. I am pulling out the roots of not being enough and always being the victim. I am washing away the shame of mistakes you have already been forgiven for, but refuse to forget. Breathe through the discomfort, for on the other side of this cleaning is a purity you have never known. I am the one who heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds, just as I promised in my word. I am not just a distant observer of your pain. I am the weaver who takes the threads of your suffering and turns them into a garment of praise. As I work on the holy repair of your soul, I am applying a celestial balm that no earthly medicine can provide. I am stitching back together the fabric of your confidence. I am reinforcing the walls of your peace. I am recalibrating your heart to beat in rhythm with mine. You might have felt off for a long time, out of sync with your purpose and disconnected from your joy. That was the sound of a broken instrument. But today, I am tuning you. I am replacing the heavy strings of sorrow with the vibrant strings of hope. I am making your heart a masterpiece of resilience. Hear me clearly. I am not just patching you up. I am recreating you. A patch is temporary. It eventually wears thin and the old hole reappears. But a recreation is a total overhaul of the substance. I am not interested in helping you cope with your trauma. I am interested in making you a new creation. When the holy repair is finished, you will not be a damaged version of your former self. You will be a completely different being. You will look back at the person you were before this surgery and hardly recognize them. The things that used to trigger you will no longer have a hook in you. The people who used to intimidate you will no longer have power over your emotions. You are being forged in the secret place to become a weapon of light, a testament to the fact that nothing is too broken for my grace to restore. As the final stitches are being placed, I want you to remain in this posture of peace. The surgery is successful, but the recovery requires your cooperation. I have removed the debris, And now I am establishing new boundaries around your heart, holy boundaries that will protect this new work I have done. You have been too accessible to those who would drain you and too open to the whispers of the enemy. No more. I am teaching you how to guard this sacred space we have built together today. The Holy Repair is your second chance, your fresh start, your divine reset. You are whole. You are clean. You are mine. Now prepare yourself, for I am about to show you how to walk in this new strength-setting boundaries that will keep your light burning bright forever. My beloved, now that the Holy Repair has been performed, we must discuss the protection of your renewed heart. You have lived much of your life with your gates wide open, allowing every passerby to trample upon the sacred soil of your spirit. You were taught that being good meant being accessible to everyone at all times. You believed that saying yes to every demand was a sign of your love and your faith. But in reality, it was often a sign of your fear of rejection, fear of conflict, and fear of not being enough. You have allowed people to feast at your table who never brought anything to the meal but their own hunger and criticism. You have poured your oil into lamps that were never meant to be lit, leaving yourself in the dark. I have watched you collapse in secret from the sheer weight of carrying other people's responsibilities, all while you smiled and told the world you were fine. I am here to tell you that your yes has no value if you do not have the power to say no. If you are ready to establish holy boundaries and protect the miracle I have just placed within you, let this be your moment of public declaration. If you have decided that your soul is no longer a public park for the world to litter and press the like button right now as a signal to the heavens that you are reclaiming your territory. And if you have not yet done so, press the subscribe button to join this army of light, for you need a community that understands the sanctity of the chosen one path. By clicking these buttons, you are not just engaging with a video. You are marking a line in the spiritual sand. You are telling the universe that from this moment forward, you are a steward of your own peace, and you will only allow into your life that which is invited by me. Do it now and feel the weight of people-pleasing fall from your shoulders. Understand this, my child. A boundary is not a wall to keep people out. It is a gate to keep the holy in. It is an act of stewardship over the life I gave you. You are not a bottomless well. You are a finite vessel with a specific purpose. When you allow others to drain your energy, your time, and your joy without restraint, you are actually stealing from the assignment I have placed on your life. How can you fulfill the great things I have for you if you are constantly exhausted by the small demands of those who refuse to grow? Look at the example of my son Jesus. Even he, the Savior of the world, understood the necessity of withdrawal. In my word, I showed you how he would leave the pressing crowds and the desperate needs behind to go up into the mountains to pray alone. If the one who carried the salvation of humanity needed boundaries, how much more do you? Withdrawal is not abandonment. It is the act of refueling so that you can give from your overflow rather than your depletion. The enemy uses guilt as a primary weapon to keep your boundaries weak. He whispers that you are being selfish, that you are being unchristian, or that you are hurting those who depend on you. He wants you to feel responsible for everyone else's happiness so that you remain too distracted to focus on your own holiness. But I tell you, you are only responsible to people. You are not responsible for them. You can love them, you can pray for them, and you can serve them, but you cannot carry their cross for them. When you set a boundary, you are not being unkind. You are being honest. You are teaching others how to treat the temple of the Holy Spirit. If someone becomes angry when you say no, it is only because they benefited from your lack of boundaries. Their reaction is proof that the boundary was necessary. Do not apologize for protecting your peace. Do not explain yourself until your breath is gone. Let your yes be yes and your no be no, and leave the rest in my hands. I am placing a new authority in your voice today. I am giving you the courage to walk away from conversations that diminish you, to silence the notifications that induce anxiety, and to say, I cannot do that right now, without feeling a crushing weight of shame. This is part of your healing. You cannot remain whole in an environment that is constantly trying to break you. As you establish these holy boundaries, you will notice that some people will drift away. Do not chase them. Their exit is part of my plan to declutter your life. I am making room for the divine connections, the people who will honor your boundaries, respect your space, and add to your life instead of always subtracting. You are becoming a person of high spiritual value, and high value requires high protection. Rest in this new strength. You are no longer an open field. You are a garden enclosed, and I am the one who stands at the gate. The transition is now beginning. We have diagnosed the pain, performed the surgery, and set the boundaries. Now the atmosphere of your life is shifting from repair to prophecy. Hear me clearly, this is your final chapter, but it is the final chapter of survival, not the final chapter of your life. I am closing the last page of the pain that kept rewriting itself, and I am sealing the door so it cannot pull you back again. You have passed the tests of the wilderness, and the chosen one within you is ready to hear what is coming. The scars you carry are about to be turned into gold, and the tears you sowed in the secret place are about to produce a harvest that will leave you breathless. And now, because that survival chapter is ending, the next chapter of your life will not be about surviving. It will be about reigning. Prepare your heart, for the promises I made to you in the dark are about to manifest in the blinding light of day. My beloved, for a long time you have believed the lie that survival requires a heart of stone. You have watched the world reward the loudest, the harshest, and those who can mask their pain behind a wall of cold indifference. You began to think that your sensitivity was a defect, a flaw in your design that made you too vulnerable to the sharp edges of life. You tried to build a shell around your spirit, attempting to numb the depth of your feelings so that you wouldn't be hurt again. But I am here to tell you that I did not create you to be a fortress of ice. I am removing that heavy, suffocating armor you've been wearing. In its place, I am giving you a heart of flesh, a heart that is soft, responsive, and vibrantly alive. Do not mistake this tenderness for weakness. In my kingdom, the softest heart is the one with the greatest power to move mountains. A heart of stone can only endure the cold, but a heart of flesh can feel the warmth of my spirit and carry the fire of my love. I have seen the times you hid your face to cry, ashamed that things affected you so deeply. I saw you in the bathroom stall, at the steering wheel of your car, and in the quiet of your bedroom, wiping away tears as if they were evidence of failure. But listen to me. My precious one, those tears are liquid prayers. They are the language of a soul that is being refined. Every drop you shed was caught in my bottle. I was there when you felt too much for the people around you, when they told you to toughen up or stop being so sensitive. I am the one who gave you that sensitivity. It is not a burden. It is your spiritual antenna. You are becoming more sensitive because you are coming closer to me. The closer you are to my heart, the more you will feel what I feel. Your ability to empathize, to sense the atmosphere, and to perceive the unspoken needs of others is a divine gift that I am now activating for my glory. This divine tenderness is the very quality that will attract the new level of your destiny. You have spent years trying to force doors open with your strength, only to find yourself exhausted and empty. But the season of forcing is over. From this day forward, you will move in the power of attraction. Just as the fragrance of a flower draws the bee without effort, the softness of your spirit will draw the right people, the right opportunities, and the right blessings into your orbit. You are no longer fighting for a seat at tables where you are not valued. I am preparing a table where your gentleness is recognized as wisdom, and your kindness is seen as authority. The high-quality relationships you have been longing for, those who will cherish your heart rather than exploit it, are being drawn to the light of the new you that is emerging right now. Your vulnerability is becoming your greatest asset, for it is the bridge through which my power flows into the world. If you believe that your sensitivity is a gift and you are ready to walk in this new softness, do not stay silent. Let the world know you are no longer afraid to feel. Type "I receive my tenderness" or 777 in the comments right now to confirm that you are yielding to my refining touch. And if this message is speaking to the depths of your weary soul, make sure you have pressed the like button and are subscribed to this family. This is how we signal to the spiritual realm that we are a collective of light, standing in the strength of our divine design. By doing this, you are telling the enemy that he can no longer use your emotions against you, because you have surrendered them to me. Breathe in this peace, my child. You don't have to be tough anymore. You don't have to hold it all together with gritted teeth. I am holding you. Let the walls come down. Let the river of my grace wash away the crust of bitterness that has kept you rigid. You are safe with me. I am making you soft enough to be molded and strong enough to stand in the truth of who I created you to be. This tenderness is the precursor to a harvest of joy that will soon overflow your life. You are not breaking, you are blooming. And the beauty that is about to come forth from your life will be so radiant that even those who once judged you will stand in awe of the work I have done in you. My child, I see your eyes wandering. I see you looking at the clocks and calendars of those around you, measuring your progress against the highlight reels of strangers. You scroll through the digital windows of other people's lives, and you feel a cold knot of anxiety tightening in your stomach. You feel as though you are standing still while the rest of the world is sprinting toward their dreams. You look at your age, your bank account, and the empty spaces in your life, and you whisper to me in the dark, "Am I too late? Have I missed my window? Is the season over before it even began for me?" Stop this internal race right now. I am the creator of time, and I do not move at the frantic, desperate pace of the world. I am not governed by deadlines, and I am certainly not pressured by the expectations of society. Your journey is not a race against others. It is a walk with me. When you rush, you trip over the very blessings I have placed at your feet. When you hurry, you blur the beauty of the landscape I have painted specifically for your eyes. Trust my pace, for it is perfectly calibrated to the rhythm of your soul's readiness. I want you to hold on to the promise I gave you in Philippians 1:6. I am the one who began this good work in you, and I am the one who is faithful to complete it. I do not start projects only to abandon them halfway through. I am not a God of half-finished masterpieces. If I have brought you to this moment, it is because I have a plan to see you through to the finish line. But you must understand that completion is a process, not a sudden event. You are like a magnificent oak tree, and right now I'm focusing on your root system. To the world, it looks like nothing is happening because there are no leaves or fruit yet. But beneath the surface, your roots are pushing deep into the soil of my word, seeking out the hidden springs of my spirit. If I were to give you the fruit before the roots were strong, and the weight of the harvest would snap your branches. I am protecting you from a premature success that would ultimately lead to a permanent failure. Be patient with yourself, for I am infinitely patient with you. Let us practice the rhythm of heaven together right now. Close your eyes and silence the noise of your to-do list. I want you to feel the divine pace within your own body. Breathe in, slowly drawing in the cool, refreshing air of my peace. Hold it for a moment, letting it fill the tight spaces in your chest. Now exhale slowly, pushing out all the urgency, the what-ifs, and the frantic need to be somewhere else. Breathe in, I am exactly where I need to be. Breathe out, I release the pressure to perform. Breathe in, God is in control of my timing. Breathe out, I trust the process. Do you feel the shift? The world tells you that if you stop moving, you will be left behind. I tell you that if you stop moving, you will finally catch up to me. My grace is not found in the hustle. It is found in the stillness. When you align your heart with my divine pace, you will find that you arrive at your destination with more energy, more wisdom, and more joy than those who ran ahead of me. Your life is not a series of random delays. It is a sequence of divine appointments. Every wait has been a shield. Every not yet has been a not that way. I am navigating you through a complex spiritual terrain that you cannot see from your limited perspective. If I had answered certain prayers when you first asked, you would have walked into traps that would have derailed your destiny. I am the one who knows the end from the beginning. I am moving the mountains and clearing the path while you are resting in the valley. Do not begrudge the time it takes to become who I have called you to be. The most beautiful things in my creation, the diamond, the canyon, the redwood, take the longest to form. You are my most precious creation, and I am taking my time with you because the result will be eternal. Rest in the divine pace. The dawn is coming exactly when the light is most needed. My precious child, have you ever seen the ancient art of kintsugi? When a piece of pottery falls and shatters into 1,000 jagged pieces, the world sees a tragedy. The human eye sees something that has lost its value, something that should be swept up and thrown into the trash. For the world believes that once something is broken, its story is over. But the master craftsman sees something entirely different. He does not try to hide the cracks with invisible glue or pretend the shattering never happened. Instead, he chooses to highlight the history of the break. He mixes lacquer with pure, shimmering gold and painstakingly joins the pieces back together one by one. The result is a vessel that is more beautiful, more valuable, and more unique than it ever was when it was first created. This, my beloved, is exactly what I am doing with your soul right now. You have been hiding your cracks, trying to pretend you were never broken, and wearing a mask of perfection that is suffocating your spirit. But I am telling you today, stop hiding. The very places where you were shattered are the places where I am pouring my golden grace. Your scars are not signs of shame. They are the maps of your victory. You look at the scars on your heart and the memory of that failed relationship that left you hollow, the sting of that professional setback that made you question your worth, and the heavy ache of the years you feel you wasted in the dark, and you see them as defects. You think they make you damaged goods less qualified for the blessings I have promised. But in my eyes, those scars are your credentials. They are the veins of gold that prove you have survived the fire and emerged with a story to tell. A person who has never been broken cannot truly understand the depth of my healing power. A heart that has never been torn cannot fully appreciate the miracle of being made whole. Your history is not a burden you have to drag behind you. It is the raw material I am using to forge a new kind of strength. When I look at you, I don't see the mistakes. I see the gold. I see a kintsugi soul that reflects my light in ways a perfect vessel never could. The light of my presence shines brightest through the cracks. It is the very brokenness of your past that allows my glory to leak out and touch a hurting world. Do not be afraid of the new you that is emerging with these golden veins. You are actually stronger now than you were before the breaking. In the physical world, when a bone breaks and heals, the point of the break often becomes the strongest part of the bone. In the spiritual realm, it is the same. The areas where you were most vulnerable, where the enemy tried to crush your spirit, are now the areas where my strength is most concentrated. You are more resilient, more compassionate, and more wise because of the jagged edges you have overcome. The enemy intended to use that season of shattering to end your story, but I have used it to upgrade your substance. You are moving from common clay to a divine masterpiece. Your future is not bright despite what you went through. It is bright because of what you went through. The price of the gold was the pain, but the value of the finished work is beyond human calculation. You are becoming a vessel that can hold a weight of glory that would have shattered the unbroken version of yourself. If you are ready to stop being ashamed of your story and start wearing your scars like medals of honor, do not stay silent. Let the heavens hear your agreement. Type, "My scars are gold," or 888 in the comments right now to signify your new beginning and your new strength. And if you have found comfort in this revelation, make sure you have pressed the like button and are subscribed to this family of believers. We are a community of kintsugi souls joined together by the gold of my grace. By doing this, you are telling the world that you are no longer a victim of your past, but a victor through my love. Hear me, my beloved. You are beautiful. You are valuable. You are not a collection of mistakes. You are a gallery of my grace. Walk with your head held high, for the master craftsman has finished his work, and the gold is still wet and shining on your spirit. As we move forward, I want you to feel the lightness that comes with being whole again. You are no longer carrying the jagged pieces. You are carrying the gold. But there is one more level of freedom I want to lead you into the freedom from the need to prove yourself to anyone. You have spent your life seeking the validation of those who could never see your worth. It is time to let that go. It is time to step into the final stage of your healing, where the only approval that matters is mine. My beloved child, we have arrived at the peak of your healing journey, the place of ultimate liberation, where the air is clear and the view is infinite. For most of your life, you have been carrying a heavy, invisible backpack, filled with the weight of other people's expectations, the desperate need to prove your worth to those who were determined to misjudge you. I have watched you exhaust your spirit trying to win over critics who were never intended to be part of your inner circle. I saw you meticulously preparing your defense in your mind, practicing the words you would say, to show them you were right, that you were talented, that you were kind, or that you were successful. You felt that if you could just get them to see the real you, the pain would finally stop. But I am here to tell you that the highest form of healing is the moment you realize you no longer need anyone's permission to exist or to be happy. I am inviting you today into the freedom from proof. This need to prove yourself is a prison with invisible bars. It keeps you tethered to the opinions of people who do not have the capacity to understand your depth. When you live for the approval of man, you become a slave to their whims, a puppet dancing to a music they don't even know they are playing. But look at me, my child. I am the only one who saw you in the dark. I am the only one who knows the true motives of your heart. If I, the creator of the universe, have already declared that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, what does the opinion of a mortal matter? When you are secure in my love, You don't need to shout your achievements from the rooftops. You don't need to post your wins to spite those who doubted you. You don't need to defend your character against those who spread lies. True authority does not explain itself. A lion does not have to convince the sheep that he is a lion. He simply is. Your light does not need to argue with the darkness. It simply shines. I want you to feel the profound relief that comes with dropping the burden of being right. Imagine the energy you will reclaim when you stop trying to fix the narrative people have about you. There is a specific kind of peace that settles over a soul when it decides to let people be wrong about them. It is the peace of the silent victory. When you stop fighting for human recognition, you create space for my divine vindication. My prophecy over your life is this: those who misunderstood you, those who laughed at your dreams, and those who cast you out will eventually see the radiant light of my favor upon you. They will see the fruit of your labor, the peace in your eyes, and the abundance in your life. And they will know that I am with you. But here is the miracle. By the time they realize it, you will be so healed that you won't even need to hear them admit they were wrong. You will be so far along your path that their realization will be a distant whisper, unable to touch your joy. This freedom is the true mark of the chosen one. It is the ability to walk through a crowd of critics with a heart that remains steady and a smile that is genuine. You are becoming untouchable by the arrows of slander and the fires of jealousy. You are anchored in a reality that is not of this world. Right now, I am severing the cords that have kept you bound to the need for validation. I am healing the inner child who just wanted to hear "well done" from the wrong people. I am whispering, "Well done, my good and faithful servant," into the depths of your being. That is the only approval that carries the weight of eternity. Rest in this new lightness. You are free to be free to grow and free to succeed without the need for a single person to witness it but me. The secret place is where your true treasure is stored, and the world is about to see the overflow of what we have built in the quiet. My beloved, look at how far we have traveled together in this sacred space. We began in the heat of your sudden agitation, where the pain was raw and the confusion felt like a thick, suffocating fog. We walked together through the valley of the ego trap, where you learned to lay down the heavy sword of self-defense. We sat in the uncomfortable silence of the gray zone, where you felt forgotten by the world, but were most remembered by me. We underwent the holy repair together, where I meticulously removed the rusted shrapnel of your past and stitched your spirit back together with the shimmering gold of my grace. You have established your holy boundaries, embraced your divine tenderness, and stepped into the freedom of no longer needing to prove your worth to anyone but me. You are no longer the person who began this video. You have been dismantled and reconstructed, refined and reborn. You might feel a strange weightlessness now, as if the old gravity of your sorrow has lost its pull. This is because you have transitioned from a life of survival to a life of sovereignty. I want you to hold this truth close to your heart as you step back into the world. You are not going back and you are not falling behind. Many times you felt like you were regressing, but I tell you that you were simply going deep. A skyscraper cannot rise toward the heavens without a foundation that reaches deep into the dark, silent earth. You were not being buried by your troubles. You were being planted for your destiny. Every tear you shed was a nutrient for your roots. Every day you spent in the waiting room was a strengthening of your core character. You are now anchored in me, and what is built on the rock cannot be shaken by the winds of change or the storms of opinion. Today, the spiritual surgery is complete and your healing is absolute. You are walking into a new light with a heart that beats in perfect rhythm with my peace. To seal this divine transition and lock this blessing into your life forever, I want you to perform one final act of faith. Type "I choose your peace" or "Amen" in the comments right now. By typing these words, you are putting a divine seal upon your soul, declaring to the spiritual realm that the old version of you is gone and the new creation is here to stay. But hear me clearly. My precious one, for this is not the end of our journey. It is merely the completion of your preparation. Today, a part of your soul was repaired, but tomorrow, I am going to show you how to use this new golden heart to attract a level of prosperity and abundance that you never previously dared to dream of. Your renewed spirit is now a powerful magnet for divine favor, because you chose to heal rather than to harden, because you chose silence over spite. The gates of heaven are swinging wide for you. I am going to show you how to turn your scars into currency and your peace into a platform. The struggles of your past have prepared you for a weight of blessing that would have crushed the person you used to be. You have passed the test of the wilderness, and now you are entering the season of the harvest. If this message has touched the deepest part of your being and brought light to your darkest corners, consider sowing a seed of gratitude. If you feel led, you may use the Super Thanks feature as an act of faith, a seed planted in the soil of your own restoration, signaling to the heavens that you are ready for the financial and spiritual overflow that is coming next. Do not leave this sanctuary without ensuring you remain connected to this flow of living water. If you have found strength here today, press the like button as a final signal of your agreement with my word and ensure you have subscribed to this family of light. You are a vital part of this community, and I have many more revelations to share with you in the days to come. Do not let the noise of the world drown out the whisper of my voice that you have rediscovered today. You are my chosen one, protected by my hand, guided by my spirit, and loved with a love that knows no end. Go forth today, not in your own strength, but in the power of the holy repair. I am with you always in the quiet breaths and the mountain peaks. The peace that passes all understanding is now your permanent residence. It is done. It is finished. It is sealed in the heavens. I will see you in the next miracle. Amen.